Copy that, Unit 4. Scene secured, no suspects in sight.
I was standing next to my ex-boyfriend at a quiet lake in our small town, and 10 seconds later, he was dead. The police say I killed him. The problem is, I didn't. I knew something was wrong the moment I saw the police lights reflecting off the lake. It was past midnight in Willow Creek, the kind of small American town where nothing ever happened. The streets were empty, the air smelled like pine trees and rain, and the lake was usually the quietest place in town. But that night, it was surrounded by flashing red and blue lights, and somehow everyone was staring at me. "Emily Carter?" a police officer asked as soon as I stepped out of my car. My stomach tightened. "Yes." "I'm Officer Grant. We need you to come with us." My heart began pounding. "What's going on?" He looked at me for a moment, then said the words that would change my life. "We found a body at the lake, and your fingerprints are on the weapon." 3 hours earlier, everything had been normal. I had just finished my shift at the diner on Maple Street. It was a quiet job, pouring coffee for the same regular customers every day. Small towns have routines, and I liked routines. At around 9:30 p.m., I got a text message from Daniel Harper, my ex. We had broken up 2 months earlier, and things hadn't ended well. The message was simple. "We need to talk. Meet me at the lake, 10 p.m. I almost ignored it, but part of me needed closure. So at 9:59, I drove to the lake. Daniel was already there, leaning against his truck. The moon reflected across the dark water behind him. "Emily," he said when I walked up. "What do you want, Daniel?" He rubbed the back of his neck nervously. "I messed up," he said. "That's an understatement." He sighed. "I just wanted to apologize." I crossed my arms. "For cheating on me or for lying about it?" His face tightened. "Look, things got complicated. They always do with you." For a moment, neither of us spoke. The water behind us was completely still. Finally, he said quietly, "You ever feel like this town is suffocating?" I frowned. "What does that have to do with anything?" He hesitated. Then he said something strange. "Because some people here are dangerous." I felt a chill run through me. "What are you talking about?" Before he could answer, headlights suddenly appeared behind us. A black SUV pulled into the parking area. Daniel's expression changed instantly. Fear. Real fear. "Emily," he whispered urgently, "you need to go." "What?" "Right now." The SUV stopped. A man stepped out. I couldn't see his face clearly in the darkness. Daniel grabbed my wrist. "Listen to me," he said. "If anything happens to me, don't trust." A loud crack split the night. A gunshot. Daniel jerked backward and collapsed onto the gravel. I screamed. For a moment, everything felt unreal. The man from the SUV ran towards us. Instinct took over. I grabbed the nearest thing on the ground, a metal tire iron lying beside Daniel's truck. "Stay back!" I shouted. But the man stopped suddenly. Then, instead of attacking, he turned and ran. The SUV roared to life and sped away. I dropped the tire iron and rushed to Daniel. Blood spread across his shirt. "Daniel! Daniel!" His eyes were already fading. He tried to speak. "Emily! It was—" But the words never came. His head fell to the side, and just like that, he was gone. By the time the police arrived, the killer was long gone. Unfortunately, the tire iron I had grabbed was now covered in Daniel's blood and my fingerprints, which is how I ended up sitting in a cold interrogation room at Willow Creek Police Station. Detective Larson stared at me from across the table. "You expect me to believe someone else shot him?" "Yes. And then you just happened to pick up the murder weapon?" "I didn't know it was a murder weapon." He leaned back in his chair. "You two had a messy breakup. That doesn't mean I killed him. You were the last person seen with him." I clenched my fists. "Check the security cameras on the highway. A black SUV left the lake right after the gunshot." Larson studied me for a long moment. Then he sighed. "Even if that's true, we still don't know who was driving it." But I had a strange feeling. Daniel was terrified of whoever was in that SUV, and he had tried to warn me about someone. Don't trust who? They released me the next morning due to lack of evidence, but the entire town already believed I was a killer. Whispers followed me everywhere, at the grocery store, at the gas station, even at the diner. That night, I went back to the lake. I needed answers. The police tape fluttered in the wind. The parking lot was empty, but something caught my eye near the bushes. A small object glinting in the dirt. I picked it up. A silver badge. Not a police badge, a private security badge, engraved with a name. Grant Security Services. My mind raced. Officer Grant, the same officer who had arrested me last night, the same officer who had arrived suspiciously fast that night. Suddenly, everything clicked. Daniel hadn't been afraid of a stranger. He had been afraid of someone in town, someone with power, someone who could make a murder look like a simple domestic fight. I drove straight to the police station, but when I walked in, the front desk officer looked confused. "Officer Grant?" he said. "There's no Officer Grant working here." My blood ran cold. Then who arrested me last night? I never got the answer from the police, but I did get it 2 nights later. I woke up to the sound of my front door creaking open. Footsteps moved slowly across my living room. My heart pounded. A shadow appeared in the hallway. The man stepped into the light, and I recognized him immediately. The same man from the lake, Officer Grant, except now he wasn't wearing a uniform, just a dark jacket and a gun. "Hello, Emily," he said calmly. "You figured it out faster than I expected." My voice shook. "You killed Daniel." He smiled slightly. "Daniel stole something from the wrong people." "What people?" "People who pay very well for problems to disappear." I backed up toward the kitchen. "You framed me." "It was convenient." His finger tightened on the trigger. "But now you're asking too many questions." I touched the kitchen counter behind me, and something cold and heavy. The cast iron skillet. He raised the gun. "Sorry, Emily." I swung the skillet with everything I had. It connected with his wrist. The gun fired into the ceiling. He screamed and stumbled backward. I grabbed the gun before he could recover. "Don't move." For the first time, his confidence vanished. Police sirens suddenly echoed outside. I had called 911 the moment I heard the door open. Grant slowly raised his hands, and just like that, the truth finally came out. It turned out Grant wasn't a real police officer. He worked for a corrupt security company that secretly handled illegal deals for wealthy clients passing through town. Daniel had discovered something he wasn't supposed to, so Grant silenced him and tried to blame me. 3 months later, Grant was sentenced to life in prison. The town finally believed my story. But sometimes, late at night, I still think about Daniel's last words. Don't trust. I guess he was right. Because in a quiet town like Willow Creek, the most dangerous people are the ones everyone trusts.